suggested they did earlier.
It's Jack Sprague just in front of Kyle Busch. Brandon Witt moves up to third. Todd Cleaver fourth. Johnny Benson rounding out the top five.
Kyle Busch goes for the lead. He's the 15 black truck on the inside. Goes for the lead on Jack Sprague, the 60 truck.
Man, they must have had a great pit stop. He had fallen back out of the top five before that caution.
And you know he changed 4 tires. I don't think anybody here would gamble on 2 tires.
And Kyle's got that Cup experience. He understands now it's time to go. You know, those Cup races 500 miles long, you might just take it easy throughout some parts of the race. But right now, I want Kyle Busch driving my truck if I'm out there because he knows how to put the hammer down.
This is the 440-mile mark for Kyle Busch right now. He knows there's about 60 miles to go.
But it appears that Jack has the truck today. We'll see if he can run him back down and get the win.
Kyle opens it up. He opens up about a 6 truck length lead over Jack Sprague. There's that 0-4 Bobby Hamilton. Don't count him out. He's been first and third in 2 attempts here at Atlanta in the trucks.
Right around the top of the racetrack, too. God, he likes it up there, doesn't he?
Kyle Busch making his 15th career Truck Series start. He already has 2 wins in this series. Both of them came this season, and we see 3 wide racing in Atlanta.
Bobby Hamilton was so wide that the other guys below him didn't even know he was there.
Craven had a near miss down in turn 1 and 2 just then, fellas.
And Craven is backing up right now.
Yes, he is. It looks like maybe he's got a flat tire. Yeah, I think he's got a flat tire.
We just heard him come on the radio and say, I've got a tire going down, guys. So he's going to want to get out of this mess of traffic right now and make his way down pit road.
Well, if he makes it through this corner at that speed, I would come back on the radio and say, I don't guess I do. I don't guess I do have a tire going down. There's no way he could have done that with a flat tire. So he probably thinks now he's okay.
A lot of times we talk about debris on tires right after a restart, but typically when you change tires, you don't get that debris. If you stay on the racetrack on old hot tires is when you get the debris. So I don't think it's a debris situation.
White knuckle loose, he reports. That's what it feels like if you have a flat tire. That's why he was confused.
Well, and Todd Bodine's not helping out at all when he gets right up behind him. Takes the air off the spoiler.
Yeah, that's like a shark after fresh meat. When you think a guy's loose, you say, I'm going to get really close to him and see what happens. Sometimes you forget that you might be the recipient of a crash if you do that.
Previous winners at this racetrack, one of those is Bobby Hamilton, the other one Ron Hornaday. Bobby Hamilton currently in 4th position. We could have a repeat winner here today.
A.J. Foyt's father passed his Craftsman tools on to his son.
Some of my father's tools are a little bit older than I am.
Who's passing them on to his son.
We still use a lot of his tools out there to this day.
Who will one day pass them on to his son.
You know, it's just amazing that they were that good back then, then they're still the best today.
Dad knew they'd last at least 4 lifetimes.
Craftsman's 1,600 hand tools are guaranteed forever and made in America. Craftsman at Sears.
From green to checkered and all in between, Speed Channel is Race Day Central. It's a little taste of Hollywood on the East Coast first. Who needs coffee? Come on, guys, get fired up. When there's NASCAR this morning to get you wired for the big race. It's crazy all over town. Door to door, beating and banging. Then, from inside the winner's circle. So now we have a points race. NASCAR Victory Lane breaks it all down for you.
Just race it. That's what's so great about the Nextel Cup.
NASCAR this morning and NASCAR Victory Lane. Sunday only on Speed.
Joel Satriani, Steve Vai, John Petrucci, 3 of the world's most influential guitar legends live on stage. G3 live in Tokyo on CD and DVD. Featuring 3 gravity-defying solo sets and the blistering G3 Jam. G3 live in Tokyo. Available now on both CD and DVD in 5.1 surround sound.
Next week, That 70s Show returns. And this year, we're giving you everything you've ever asked for. Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher star in the same show. That should be fun. Oh, that's hot. Fez gets his wish.
We're gonna be roommates. Hot diggity.
And
where's the stripper?
A stripper moves in with the Foremans.
There she is! There's a stripper in the kitchen!
You're welcome. That 70s Show. Don't miss the 1-hour season premiere next week on Fox.
Side by side for the lead. That's Jack Sprague and the number 60 on the bottom of the track. Kyle Busch and the number 15 on the top of the track. They continue side by side down the backstretch.
Don't forget that 23 truck right behind these two, Johnny Benson.
What about the agenda for these three? You got Kyle Busch, who shows up every now and then. He just wants to win. Jack's got him a new ride. Johnny hadn't got him a win this year. All three of these guys are just chomping at that steering wheel trying to get to the front.
29 of Brad Keselowski having to come down pit road because of a black flag. The pins in the hood came loose, and so he was causing a problem, or potentially could cause a problem if that would have come up.
Yeah, all these trucks have 4 hood pins, hood fasteners. 2 of them came out on the 29. He could have probably got by with 1 out, but he had 2 out, and that was a dangerous situation. NASCAR brought him in.
Jack Sprague out in front of Kyle Busch. Johnny Benson coming into play as we have just 26 laps of racing to go. Ray, what's going on with Johnny?
Well, guys, Wendy had mentioned earlier that Johnny had 4 second-place finishes. As we were coming into the garage today, I saw his truck owner, Bill Davis, and I said, Bill, what is the big picture for next year? Well, you have 3 trucks, 4 trucks. What is the deal? He said, our plan is to have 3, but as of right now, we do not have a sponsor settled in for this number 23 truck. I really hope that works out, because I'd love to have Johnny back. He also would love to try to get something put together for Steve Park. So I asked Bill Davis, I said, is there a chance that any of these 3 truck drivers will be moving up to your Cup deal? He said, right now, that's not our plan. We're looking at some other options for that 22 car, but he said for the 23 truck, we're hoping Johnny Benson is back in 06.
And Johnny Benson could be our 15th different winner in 2005. He's got to get by 2 trucks in front of him, those of Jack Sprague and Kyle Busch. We'll come right back. Welcome back to the Easy Care Vehicle Service Contracts 200 on Speed Channel. Jack Sprague in the number 60 going by Robert Presley in the number 59. It's a lapped truck. Sprague putting some distance between himself and Kyle Busch. Now almost 2 seconds separate those 2 trucks.
This is the biggest lead anybody has enjoyed this entire race. We've got 14 laps to go for Jack Sprague.
Something's going to have to change, because we've never had this much distance between first and second at the end of the race. So,
well,
it's not over.
I got a lot of, I get a little excited over these finishes in Atlanta. I'm breathing okay right now. I know Jack doesn't want to see a caution, but you got to kind of expect we're going to have one. It always works out here, and it's a crazy finish. What happens now if a caution comes out? You got to pit. It's going to be a nutty finish if the caution flies.
Wendy, what's going on with JB?
Well, just real quick to add what you just said, Mikey, I talked to Richie Waters, and he said they would pit if the caution came out. And when I asked Tony Bird the same thing about Jack Sprague, he said, no, I don't think we'll pit if the caution came out. Now, I do want to add our 3rd place guy, Johnny Benson. He's had a neutral setup today, but he has problems with his tires all day long. They put scuffs on this last set of tires, but he just reported that the tires have gone bad. We'll watch the 23.
When we report that,
that's a bad report.
It's followed by a blowout.
And a caution, which I'm guessing some drivers would love to see right now.
Some drivers would love to see. I know there's probably about 25,000, 30,000 folks sitting here in Atlanta would like to see that.
Jack Sprague would be one of the drivers that would not like to see a caution flag. He's got over a 2-second lead now, almost 2 3/10 of a second over our 2nd place truck of Kyle Busch.
And he is hammering it, Phil. He is driving away from him about a half a second a lap. So Jack's just hoping it stays status quo. No changes between here and the checker, and he's going to be fine.
He beat Kyle Busch that time by over a half a second. That's what an outstanding pace Jack Sprague is running right now.
Kyle Busch falling off of the pace. Almost 3 seconds separates Jack Sprague from Kyle Busch, and you can see the distance between the 2 trucks. No trucks in between them, but a lot of distance between the 60 of Jack Sprague and the 15 of Kyle Busch.
A little over 2 miles an hour that time. Jack Sprague was faster than their 2nd place truck of Kyle Busch. Johnny Benson is closed up right to the rear bumper of the 15 of Kyle Busch.
When you're Sprague right now, Phil, you're just thinking, please, no caution. Nothing happened between now and the finish.
We're getting a report that the 15 truck is calling that there's debris on the racetrack, which if you're struggling out there, that's what you're normally going to say, is there's something on the racetrack. You remember that number 30 truck, Michael, that hit the wall here not too long ago?
I do, Phil.
He's running 5th.
Jack Sprague looking to be our 3rd different winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but we've got to look at the big picture. Big picture being the points championship. Dennis Setzer coming into this. Dennis started in the 6th position. He dropped back to 14th is where he's running right now. And the person that he is competing with is Ted Musgrave. Musgrave is in front of him even after hitting the wall very hard because of a blown right front tire. Musgrave currently running in 8th position. 75 points separate those two.
Musgrave's slow, though, Rick. I told you earlier, when he had that crash, it was going to put a premium. He's got a right rear flat. See it right there? Smoke
coming out of the #1 Mopar Dodge. And so Musgrave coming off of the pace. This could be monumental. The caution comes out.
Inside of 10 laps to go. What are you going to do now, Michael?
Take a deep breath, please.
Phil, I've been so good today. I hadn't really said anything dumb. I'll just soon not comment right now. I think they all pit.
You think they all pit?
I think they all pit.
We're going to restart with 3 or 4 laps to go, possibly, and you think they're all going to pit?
No. Now, I think some of them are going to pit.
When you say that, there are 18 trucks currently on the lead lap. And so if you do pit, if you're up front, you could possibly start 18th. Can you make that up in 3 laps?
You're not going to be the only truck that pits.
Right.
If I'm telling you, if Jack Sprague comes down pit road as our leader, I'm not sure that they all won't follow him. But maybe somebody running 14th or 15th may decide to stay out and say, hey, let me roll the dice here.
4 tires. Yep.
I'm thinking they're all going to pit. Every one of them. I'm going with that.
Heard 4 tires. Yep.
That was Kyle Busch, I think, that said that. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jack Sprague comes down pit road. I think we know that Kyle Busch, their 2nd place truck, is going to come down pit road.
I didn't need. This is crazy. I don't even.
We're coming.
There you have it.
That's Kyle?
That was Kyle Busch saying we're coming.
I bet you Jack stays out.
If he stays
would be
out,
a sitting duck.
He's going to be a sitting duck. I don't think he can win this race if he stays out, and most everyone else pits.
I think he stays out, and then some of the back markers stay out with him, and Kyle never gets to him.
There goes Kyle Busch.
That's how it's going to land. Johnny Benson also stays out, as does Todd Bodine, Todd Cleaver. Now it's going to be hard with so many trucks staying out for Kyle Busch to get back to the front.
Wendy.
The last-minute call, the 60 of Jack Sprague did decide to stay out, but Kyle Busch isn't. He desperately wanted an air pressure adjustment on those tires. It looks like they are going to do a 4-tire stop on the 15, Ray.
Well, Wendy, Dennis Setzer will be coming down pit road, and he has to go around Joey Miller's number 12. He has no problem with doing that. They are going to go down on the wedge on the left side here. Now, here's the thing. When they saw Musgrave have the problem, they decided they had to pit here. Setzer's going to try to have a good finish. Back to Wendy.
Ted Musgrave finds himself sitting on pit road as the crew is now around on the left-hand side. He did have a flat right tire, and they chose to do 4 tires since the caution did come out. Gene originally was just going to put 2 on, but they did put 4 fresh stickers on that machine.
On fire. To the front there, buddy.
It's a fight to the finish. We've got a great points battle going on between Ted Musgrave, who is definitely on fire, and Dennis Setzer. We'll be back for the finish.